If I had to rank Bruno's season out of 10, with everything in context, I would have to give him a 9 out of 10. It's been a minute, but we're back talking about Manchester United, and from now and for the next few weeks we'll be doing player reviews. We're going to be looking at the key players and we'll be doing some player reviews, looking at what these players have done well, what were the shortcomings, and what can we expect going into next season, or if they will even make it to next season. And there's no better way to start than to start with Manchester United's best player, with the main man of the team, Bruno Fernandes. So today we're going to be going over Bruno Fernandes' season, what he's done well, what he can improve on, and what we should expect going forward. Without wasting any more time, guys, let's get straight into it. Despite the worst season for Manchester United in the Premier League era, Bruno Fernandes once again posted elite numbers. In the Premier League, he played 33 games, scored 8 goals and had 10 assists. The Europa League, he played 13 games, had 7 goals and 5 assists. And in domestic cups, he played 7 games and had 4 goals and 4 assists. One of the biggest questions for Bruno Fernandes coming into the season was whether he was going to be effective. We didn't know what the attack was going to look like. We didn't know how impactful Rashford was going to be. The big question was, how could Bruno contribute to this team? And again, despite us being absolutely horrible this season, offensively, Bruno Fernandes still came through. And if Bruno was to leave this summer, it doesn't look like he will, but if he was to leave this summer, I wouldn't be surprised, and I would wish Bruno the best, because the numbers he put up this season with this squad is nothing short of impressive. But just looking at the goals and assists does not tell the full story. Let's dig a little deeper. In the Premier League, per 90 minutes, Bruno Fernandes is averaging 9.36 progressive passes. That puts him in the 100th percentile. 5.69 shot creating actions, which puts him in the 94th percentile. 0.27 expected assists, which puts him in the 80th percentile. 0.31 actual assists, 82nd percentile. 2.3 tackles per 90, 96th percentile, and 66 attempted passes, which puts him in the 100th percentile. Does Bruno lose the ball? Yes, sometimes he does force things, but that's what happens when you have a maestro in your team. You don't get to 19 assists in a season and 19 goals without trying things. And when you try things in the position that Bruno plays, sometimes you're going to make mistakes. You want your number 10 trying to break games open. Bruno tries, and that's the difference. I don't even think I need to mention this, but when you look at what these players provide offensively, Bruno Fernandes and the rest of the players in the squad, they are in different tiers. There's at least 2 or 3 tiers between Bruno Fernandes and every single other attacking player on this team. Even the guys that went on loan, Bruno is clearly a step ahead. And he's always played like this. Even when he was at Sporting, his early years at United, Bruno has always been someone that likes to try things. Unfortunately, sometimes trying things leads to mistakes, and people love to harp on those mistakes. But when you look at the numbers a bit deeper, you begin to see how impactful Bruno really is. And one of the big reasons why Bruno gets criticized a lot is because of his discipline. 2 red cards this season, 1 in the heated Spurs game, 1 in a tense Europa League night against Porto. Both sparked the usual debate. Is Bruno a passionate leader, or is he a liability? And the truth is, it's emotion. He cares too much sometimes, but we shouldn't mistake fire for recklessness. Bruno isn't a dirty player, he's just a frustrated captain in a fractured team. When you want to be the best, when you are as competitive as Bruno is, when you want to win, when you are as talented as Bruno is, it's very easy to get emotional and angry at your situation. Does Bruno go overboard sometimes? Yes, he does. Even being a Bruno fan, I'll still admit that he does go overboard sometimes. But for people to start questioning his ability as a captain and whether he should be a captain is just very silly to me. Bruno is the most qualified person in this squad to be the captain. Bruno isn't just the captain by armband, he's the emotional center. Through injuries, technical messes, and inconsistent teammates, he never hides. Sometimes he rants, sometimes he gestures, sometimes his body language is even questionable. But he has dragged United through the mud ever since he's been here. Let's put it this way, would you want someone passive in the dressing room or someone who bleeds for the badge? Like it or not, Bruno shows up week in and week out. And when you compare Bruno to the other players in the Premier League like De Bruyne, Odegaard, James Maddison, they are all great, but Bruno is right there in that tier. He doesn't glide like Odegaard or thread the ball like Kevin De Bruyne, but in terms of pure volume and intensity, he is up there. Top 5 in Europe for progressive passes, high up for expected assists, and one of the few attacking midfielders who will track 60 yards to win the ball back. Look at the teams of the players I just mentioned, Odegaard, De Bruyne, and then look at Bruno's teammates. There's a clear gap, and still, in my opinion, Bruno is up there. Bruno's game is chaos. Flicks, switches, dinks, one-touch volleys into tight spaces. It's not clean. You may even call it creative violence. His pass completion, 75.4%. But that stat means nothing without context. He's the high-risk, high-reward player United need because frankly, nobody else in the squad is trying to make things happen. When Bruno doesn't play, United fall off a cliff. The numbers tank. Fewer chances, fewer final third entries, way less control in transition. There is no like-for-like replacement in the squad, not even close. And to try and sign a player of Bruno's caliber is going to cost a fortune if you even find him. You might not love how Bruno plays, but if he goes, United are not replacing him. Internally is impossible, and outside, as I just said, it's either going to cost too much money even if you find a player of his caliber. If Bruno leaves, it's not because he can't deliver anymore. It will be because he feels the project at United is stagnating again. But if he stays with a disciplined system behind him and a real structure, we might be looking at a late career peak. So, to summarize everything, Bruno is still the team's most productive player, still the emotional leader United need, still doing the job of two midfielders, but his situation is still volatile and may be on the verge of walking away. I know the Al Hilal rumours have died down, and I'm very happy about that, and I really hope Bruno doesn't leave, but I won't be 100% secure until the transfer window opens. Bruno is a special player, and in a team that doesn't perform, that doesn't have the right structure, I could see him leave if he gets too frustrated. But overall, Bruno's season has been a net positive. If I had to rank Bruno's season out of 10, with everything in context, I would have to give him a 9 out of 10. Bruno has been exceptional in a team that is absolutely dysfunctional. But let me know in the comments what you guys think. Once again, I appreciate you watching the video until the end. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe, share. Do all these things to please help me grow this channel. And as per usual, I'll see you soon.